Okay, I think it's working again. For some reason they keep getting claimed. I don't know if that's gonna keep happening. I'm pretty sure my voice is echoing. I don't know how to fix that. Oh. I'm kind of confused right now. I haven't really streamed before. I've tried, I think, 3 times in the past, like, 2 years, so I don't really know what I'm doing. My voice shouldn't be echoing. I think the audio, I don't know what's wrong with the audio. Yeah, it's still echoing. I don't know how to fix that. Oh, hello, Cuban Go-To. I don't know what's going on. Is my voice still echoing? Oh, so it is. Do you have any idea how to fix that? I don't know if you've streamed before. I really don't know what I'm doing. Everything else seems to be working fine. I'm just gonna look it up. Okay. I'm just gonna mute it. Alright. Okay, I understand. Yeah, streaming seems to be difficult right now, especially for someone who's never done it. So, definitely, probably gonna be a problem for me. Oh, I think that might be it. I think it might be doing the microphone's audio and the computer audio. Okay. This might fix it, I'm not sure. I'm just gonna see if it works. Okay, so it didn't work. I really don't know how to do it. So it seems like you go to the advanced audio properties. that may have fixed it. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna see if it helped or not. I have the stream opened on another device just so I can make sure everything's working just fine. Okay, so it didn't help. Alright. I think this may help. Maybe if I just disable the desktop's audio completely. Maybe it's not even the problem. I don't know what else the problem would be. Okay, so it didn't work. I don't know what else to do. Okay, so mute output is what he's saying to do. Wait, I might be able to figure this out. I haven't used this software before. This may have fixed it. I don't know. I'm just going to see really quickly if it helped. Okay, so it didn't. Maybe if I just said okay, it'll help. Or apply. That might be it. I think that may be it. I may have to end the stream really quickly and see if it fixed it or not, or try to figure it out so I don't make everyone wait for it. Oh, I think I got it. Yeah, is it working for you guys? Because I have it open on another device, and it's not echoing on that device anymore. So is it echoing on for you? Because if everything's working, I'm gonna go ahead and start instead of creating a whole new stream, since this one seemed to be working better than the other ones. Hello, Cuban Network. Is the audio working for you? I think I fixed it. It's not echoing? Okay, that's awesome. Thank you, Cuber Go To. So, since the audio is working, and I've already gotten probably more viewers than I've gotten on any of the other streams I've tried doing today, I'm going to go ahead and start. So I'm going to open up Photoshop. Okay. Thank you for your feedback and for helping me out. I've never done this before, actually. I've tried, but I've never actually done it. So it's awesome that it's actually working. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a thumbnail. I just took a random picture this morning just for this thumbnail, just so I can use it as an example. Okay, so now I'm going to start just because I think everything's working. So what we're going to start with is the cutout. Now, I do have regular Photoshop. If you look at my taskbar, I do have the full version. The only reason why I don't use it is because cutouts are easier on the Elements version. So I'm just going to be using the Elements version for this one because it's actually cheaper. So if you are a beginner and you want to use Photoshop, then I would suggest the Elements version before the full one. Alright, so let's begin. Okay, I'm just going to make sure everything's working one more time, and then I'm going to turn the volume off on my other device so I can focus better. Okay, so what you want to start with is the cutout, and what you use on this version, which the full version doesn't actually have, is the masking tool. So if you look up here where my mouse is, you can see the logo that it's over right now. That's the button you want to click, and it will take you here. And so now if you look where my mouse is, that's the one that you want to click, and that's what you use to do your cutouts. At least that's what I use, because it's a lot easier than the quick selection. So now what you do is, normally it will be like this. If you look where my mouse is now, it says selection, so you choose mask. And mask is what the other version of Photoshop, the full version, doesn't actually have. So that's why I like this version a little bit better for making thumbnails. And then what you can do if you want to increase the size of your tool or decrease is Alt and right click. You drag right to increase the size and left to decrease the size. This will definitely save you a lot of time instead of going down here where my mouse is now to the size properties and manually doing it. You can just do this instead. It's so much easier. So what you do is, if you want to zoom, you click Alt, or I think it's Alt, and you scroll up or down. So I'll show you. So right now I'm doing Alt, and I'm scrolling up, and that's zooming in. And then if I scroll down while holding Alt, it zooms out. It's a lot easier than Control plus or minus. It just saves you a lot of time knowing these simple tricks. So now, what I'm going to do is start with what I call a rough selection. So instead of being really detailed, I'm just going to basically remove all the really easy parts, if that makes any sense. So the red means that it's not being kept. So with this selection right here, if I click this button, you can see that everything over here but that one area is selected. So if I create a new layer right here, then that's basically what I cut out. So what you want to do is you basically make sure that everything but you want to select and want to make a cutout out of is red. So basically what my rough selection is going to be is just doing the really easy and big areas that aren't even really close to the area I want to cut out, and just remove those. Just to start it off. And basically what I'm cutting out is myself. I'm cutting myself out of the picture. And then once you finish that, then you do all the other extra effects. So as you can tell, I'm not really trying to be detailed here. I'm just trying to remove all the really easy bits, like really easy to remove right now. And just in case you didn't know, you left click on the area you want to remove and just drag the mouse and it will remove that area. And let's say you remove an area that you don't want to be removed, like right here. See there? Basically, I want to keep that part because that's part of my face. So what you do is you hold the Alt key, and as you can tell right here where my mouse is, it's on subtract. And if you hold Alt, now it says add. So now if you drag over it while left clicking, it will basically reselect those areas that you didn't mean to deselect. So red means that the area is not selected anymore. What do I use to edit my videos? I use an app called Inline Video Leap. I'll show you right here just a picture. That's a good question, because I do get that. So, quite a lot, so it's actually a pretty good question. So, that's basically what the app looks like. And it's free, but if you want to have all of the options, you have to pay, and I haven't paid for all the things because I really don't need all the effects and stuff that the app comes with if you pay for it. No, not on my phone, on my iPad actually. This thing right here. I've made all of my videos on there except for one. I've only made one video that on my phone out of the 2 years and over that I've been doing YouTube. Because the iPad just works really well for me when it comes to editing. So I've always been using it. Now I do have, if you look at my taskbar, I do have Premiere Pro, but I don't use it yet because I really don't know how to use it. I would like to learn, but right now I'm just really comfortable with using my iPad to make my videos. So I've just been using Inline Video Leap instead of Premiere Pro. And you have to pay for Premiere Pro, so Inline Video Leap is better in my opinion for someone who's new at making videos. So now I'm just continuing the cutout, the rough selection, not really getting too close to the parts I want to keep yet. But doing this basically makes it easier. You just do this for right now. At least it does for me. So now I'm just getting a little bit closer to the areas I want to keep. Still not quite being as detailed as it can be yet. Just getting really close, so when I go to do the final cutout, it will be easier for me. And just to let you know, just a really simple thing I'm sure you already knew. If you select an area that you don't want to select, instead of reselecting that area, you can just hit Control Z. If you want to, that's what I always do. I don't go and do this because it takes longer than just hitting Control Z. Now, of course, if you do select or deselect a bunch of, or like one large area, and you accidentally select something or deselect something you want to be selected, you can reselect it, because if it's a lot of things and you're being detailed, it can be annoying to go and do the same thing again. So that's always an option. Whenever I do the final cutout and I'm really detailed, I always do smaller areas. I don't try to do the whole thing at once. What I mean by that is holding down left click and not letting go. What you want to do is you want to get like a small area and then let go of left click and then find the next area and then deselect that. Because it can be annoying if you keep holding it and do a large area and then you have to hit undo because you accidentally selected or deselected something you didn't want to deselect. Or just any simple mistake in general. If you guys have any other questions, I can answer them while I'm doing this. And I think one of the slowest parts or most tedious parts is this one right here when doing a thumbnail. It's just doing the cutout, because it can take very long depending on what you're cutting out. Yeah, I can say that I don't know if making my thumbnails is necessarily harder than making the videos. It just takes longer, if that makes sense. Because there's a lot more, well, depending on the video. If it's like a simple video, like a relay or something, I spend maybe, depending on what the relay is, I spend maybe up to an hour or maybe a little bit more making the video. And sometimes the thumbnail can take longer. Yes, I do know free editing apps. Inline Video Leap is actually free. If you go there on the App Store, this app right here, it is free. You only have to pay if you want every feature on the app. If you don't pay, you still get a lot of features that are on it. You just don't get everything, but you don't need everything on the app. The features that you do have to pay for, in my opinion, aren't really necessary, especially for a cubing video. So I do suggest it if you need or want to have another editing app to use for your videos, because it does work really well. And so everything you see in my videos, like all the effects I use, all that, those are all from what's already given to you in like Video Leap when you first purchase it. None of it's purchased things or purchased effects. Of course, if you go to some of my earlier videos using the app, they will be worse because I didn't really know what I was doing. But when you get used to Inline Video Leap, you can make really good videos, like even better than what I make. Okay, so now I basically have the rough selection right here. Yeah, I don't think the bitrate. Yeah, I think that when you save the video in Inline Video Leap, I don't know if it necessarily makes the video that much worse in quality. You can save 180p videos in 60 frames per second. But the thing is, with channels like mine, which I'm not saying I have a small channel necessarily, but like smaller than like all the bigger channels out there, with YouTube, when smaller channels upload videos on YouTube, YouTube actually makes those videos lower quality. Like it lowers the quality of the video, which is kind of annoying to me, just because I do try my best to make it look higher quality. And so it is kind of frustrating when I upload it in 180p and the quality just gets worse just from the uploading, because I check the videos before I upload them, and when I check them before they're uploaded, they look the way I want them to, like better than the way they look after they're uploaded. So it's not necessarily Video Leap's fault. It's more of YouTube's system. I actually found a video on it and figured it out, that it does that. It does that with all channels, but more with smaller channels. Like, I don't know if you've heard of this channel or not. I'm not subscribed or anything. I just watched one video. I think it's Marquez Brownlee. He uploaded a video 100 times, like using the same video from YouTube, and you can see that every time it got uploaded again, the quality just got worse. So it is kind of frustrating, but you know, it's okay to me. It's just a little bit frustrating. Do you guys have any other questions that you want me to answer? Now, as you can see, I'm doing more of a detailed cutout. Now I'm actually cutting out everything that I want to be cut out. I'm not like working or doing larger areas anymore. So I would like to think that I'm pretty detailed with this part of the thumbnail, which is what makes it take longer sometimes. Oh, hi, Cuban Tube. This is my first stream, actually. Well, it's not the first time I've tried a stream, but it's my first official stream. Hello, Gua Squad. Yeah, this I think this is like the 4th or 5th attempt at this stream so far. For those of you who just joined, right now I'm doing the part where I make the thumbnail. What I've gone over basically is just what tools to use and how to use them and all that. So if you want to know any more, you can always, when the stream's over, you can go back. I'm not going to be deleting the stream when it's over. So just to refresh for those of you who are new, just to make the tool bigger, you hit Alt and then right click and drag right to make it bigger and then left to make it smaller. What I'm using to do the cutout is this tool right here. If you can look at where my mouse is, it's called the quick selection tool, but actually no, it's a selection brush. And then instead of selection, you choose mask. I am streaming with OBS actually. I finally got it to work. At first the audio was echoing, but now I got it fixed. I am using the Elements version of Photoshop instead of the full version. If you see where my taskbar is, you can see I do have the full version of Photoshop, but for cutouts, the Elements version is better for me. I like it better. YouTube is a very bad streaming service. Twitch is much better. Okay, I have heard that, but I don't have a Twitch channel, and I really like just uploading to YouTube. And I don't want to upload for the, basically cubing stuff on 2 different platforms, if that makes any sense. I'd like to just keep everything here on YouTube. Although I do assume that YouTube isn't as good as Twitch, but I don't really have a Twitch. I might try it in the future, but I don't know if I'm going to be doing this kind of stream. I don't think I'm going to be streaming a lot. Are you paying for Photoshop? Well, yes and no. So, the Elements version I'm using right here, well, I didn't technically pay for it, but yes, you have to pay for it. The full version of Photoshop, you do have to pay for, but basically my school, my high school has the full version already. So my sister helped me with this. I used my school account and got the full version of Photoshop for free. So if you have a school account, you may be able to do that. If your school has Photoshop, you might be able to use your username or your school account. So I got lucky. What is your favorite budget cube? Oh, 3x3 budget cube? I'm not sure. Probably the MF3RS3M, because I don't really have many budget 3x3s. The MS3x3 is okay. I do like the MF3RS3M better. Yes, I am in high school actually. Believe it or not. I've been there for a year now, and I still don't feel like I'm actually in high school. It's definitely pretty difficult to get used to. It was, at least at first. And it's definitely, at least for me, it's definitely better than middle school. I definitely don't want to go back to middle school at all. Oh, you're homeschooled? Okay. So, I guess if you want the full version or even the Elements version, you will have to pay for it then. Do you use Inline Video Leap on your laptop or on your phone? Neither, actually. I use it on this device right here, my iPad. And I've been using my iPad to make videos even when I used iMovie since I started YouTube. I've made one video on my phone. And it turned out pretty well. It's actually one of my recent videos. It is I think it's the OHWCA relay video from a week ago. I had to make it on my phone because I used GoPro footage and there was way too much space. I couldn't make it on my iPad because my iPad doesn't have enough space for it, and my phone has a lot more space, so I used my phone instead. So, you're 14 or 15, I think. Well, I'm not allowed to give out my age. I can say that I'm in high school, but unfortunately I can't say my age, so I'm sorry about that. I edit videos on my iPad because it's a lot easier for me. Because one, it's a bigger screen, so it's easier to see what I'm doing than on my phone, and it's like adjusting things is a lot easier. Any other questions? Let's see how far I've gotten in the cutout so far. This is basically as far as I've gotten right now. And even after I'm done with the cutout, I'm still not going to be completely done with everything. So everything unselected right now, or everything selected may now, some of it may still get... I'm going to do a touch-up. What is this thumbnail for? It's for the stream. Basically, it's not for anything. It's not for a video that's coming out or anything like that. It's just I get a lot of questions on how I make my thumbnails. And so I thought I would actually make a stream about it and just show people how I do it. Because I've been thinking about it. And I thought doing a live stream would be the best way for me. How much storage do you have on your phone? I'm not sure. It's at least double the storage I have on my iPad. It's like, I don't know. It's at least over 100 gigabytes of storage. And my iPad has like 36 gigabytes, so that's why I had to use my phone that one time. What do you average on the events that you do? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go over all of them. So 2x2, I average sub 6, sometimes sub 5. In the 2 last cubing at homes, I've actually gotten 3-second averages, which is really good. 3x3, I average sub 18, basically. Really rare times would be 13 or under. Those I don't get very often. It's mostly like 14 to 17. 4x4, sub 1 minute, 10 seconds. And I have gotten at least, I think, 3 sub 1 averages. But I average a little bit over a minute. 5x5, sub 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Sometimes sub 2 minutes. 5x5 is my favorite event, so I definitely do want to improve in that one. 6x6, I don't really know. I don't ever practice 6x6. I don't ever practice 7x7. Scube, sub 15. Square 1, I would say 30 to 50 seconds. It's a large range because I don't really practice that event either. So it really depends on the scramble and how easy the cube shape is, because I use beginners for that. I'm not very good at square 1. Pyraminx, sub 10, most of the time. Sometimes in competitions I mess up and get like a little bit over 10 seconds or just 10 seconds. Megaminx, I'm not sure. I think definitely sub 2 minutes. I think sub 1 minute 45, because I remember needing, I was still going to compete in the North American competition, the big one that was going to happen this year. When it was going to happen, I wanted to average sub 1 minute 45 so I could, I forgot what the right word is. So I would be able to compete, basically. So I would qualify. So I'm definitely have that average because I practiced enough, so I got there. And then clock, I don't know. I don't really like clock at all, so I don't ever do it. Do you cringe when you show your parents your videos? Well, not exactly. Sometimes I do. Like when people are playing my videos and like out loud and I can hear it, sometimes it's kind of embarrassing. Like at school, sometimes my friends will play my videos to annoy me. So, I don't necessarily cringe at the ones I make now, which I think is good that I'm not cringing at my own videos. I do definitely cringe at my older videos because of how much worse they are. But I I do watch my videos with my parents sometimes. Especially if it's a video I'm proud of or I'm excited about, I will show them. Okay, so right now. Oh wait, so. Okay, so right now, what you may need to do right here, as you can see, there are some loose hairs right there, and so yeah, basically you don't want to select those parts because it won't look good, and I'll explain it later when I do the outline. As you can tell, if you look at some of my thumbnails, they're like if it's a picture of me, a lot of the time it has what's called a stroke outline, and basically it's like a. So basically, I'll show you when I get there. It just doesn't look very good. If you keep the little like tiny hairs that are just like popping up and stuff when you do the outline, it will look really bad. And so when I get there, I will basically what I do to do a retouch after I do the cutout is I add an outline and remove, like basically erase all the bits that basically don't look very good. And it's hard to explain right now, but it's easier to explain if I show you. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue with the cutout, and then once I get to the outline, then I'll go over that. Any other questions? I think I should only be streaming until 12:30. I may stream for longer because originally I was supposed to start like an hour and a half ago, basically, and things didn't work. So I may do it for longer. How do you cut it out so perfect? So the reason why or at least the reason why I'm able to cut it out as well as I can is because I've done it so much now. I forgot, I think my Terraminx unboxing was my first ever video where I made a thumbnail with Photoshop or with this version. And if you pay attention to any of my early thumbnails that have outlines or anything done with Photoshop, they don't look as good as they do now. And it's really just practice. And another thing I noticed is that I'm really detailed when I do cutouts because like it really annoys me when the cutout isn't done right or there's like a little bit showing that or selected that shouldn't be. So it's just, it kind of bothers me when that kind of stuff happens. And I don't want the thumbnail to look bad, so sometimes I spend too long trying to make it look better just because I don't really like the way it looks then. How long does it take you to edit? Depends on the video, really. So, like a relay, the editing part of a relay takes that long because it's literally just me speeding up the video, like doing the intro and then plus the outro at the end and then just speeding up the video of the relay. And sometimes I time that part with the music, but the editing does not take very long. If it's updates, it can take an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe even longer, because there's a lot more to edit in those kinds of videos. Challenges take a little bit longer than relays, but not as long as updates. So it really depends on the videos for how long it takes for me to edit. Any other questions? You guys are asking really good questions right now. Thank you for that. I'm glad it's not just me making a thumbnail the entire time. That would be a little bit boring. Hello, Prime Cubing. yeah, I finally got the stream working, so it should be fine for right now. So since, I guess I'll go ahead and inform any other new viewers now. I'll just do basically go over everything really quickly again. Right now, I'm doing the cutout part of the thumbnail. I'm not going to basically re-explain everything, but if you do want to know how I'm doing this, then you can go earlier in the stream, and you should be able to see it, by the way. Any other questions at all? You should make a video. Okay. Sorry, things reconnected. I don't know if everything's working yet. Is everything working for you guys? Please comment in the chat if you can hear me. I think everything's good. So I'm just gonna resume where I was. Everything should be working again. Okay, there you go. Oh, it is? Okay. Thank you. So basically what I was saying to Cuban Tube, who was talking about basically like cloning myself, I just thought I'd just show you what I mean by, there it is. Right there. See, that's the only time I've ever cloned myself in a video. See that I do know how to do it. I've actually done it a bit, not on my channel, just messing around with the editing software. I always try a lot of different things when I'm not making videos, and sometimes I actually end up using them in videos. So yeah. I guess I'll just get back to the cutout now. Oh, hello, Hypercuber. Basically, this is how far I've gotten in the cutout right now. If you do want to see the rest of what I've done, like basically when I went over how to do it, you can just go to the beginning of the video when the stream's over. So I'm just gonna resume the cutout. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. You've been asking really good questions so far, and I'm really appreciative of that. I'm solving my 9x9 using Cage method. It's taken 4 hours so far. Can you try to solve your 12x12 with Cage method? I don't know Cage method. Or maybe I do, and I just don't remember. I never learned any other methods other than 2Look and just beginners. I might look that up, because I haven't heard of that before. Any other questions? Are you going to get the RS3M 2020? Yes, I am. Definitely. So far, every single person I've seen who's made a review video on it has said it's amazing, and I definitely want to buy it. I might have the money to buy it now, but if you go to the cubicle, I actually have a cart of things that I want to get right now, and I don't have enough money to buy everything on this cart. I ran out of Max Fleet. I'm gonna get the new Moyu Pyramix Duo, and then basically the rest of that stuff. So I will buy it once I have enough money. Google it. Okay, Cage method. Sure, I guess I'll just look it up for 4x4. Okay. Oh, I know how to do that. Apparently I actually have done that before. Yeah, it's really interesting. Actually, the day that I solved my 13x13 and made a video about my 13 by 13 solve, I actually tried doing a mosaic on it and then didn't know how to get it back, so I ended up having to use cage method. So that is interesting. So I guess I can do it since I know how. It's simple, but it just takes a long time. The Cubicle or Speedcube shop, if you were to get sponsored, I honestly don't know. I have been shopping at Speedcube shop a lot more recently. But I'm not sure. Out of all the orders I've done online, I have technically ordered from the Cubicle more, but Speedcube shop right now seems to be on top of their game and having cubes available to order a lot sooner than the Cubicle has. I really don't know. I guess, I'm wearing a Cubicle shirt right now, so, but I don't know if I would want to be sponsored by them over Speedcube shop. Speedcube shop has technically, they've actually commented on my videos before. I don't think I've ever been noticed by the Cubicle. So maybe Speedcube shop, just because of that. And they seem to sponsor smaller creators. Doesn't matter to me. Not really. Getting sponsored would just be amazing no matter who is sponsoring me. Even if it's some other, maybe smaller cubing manufacturer or cubing store. Because I'm not sponsored at all. That would be great. Then I wouldn't have to earn as much money to buy cubes. So, no, it doesn't really matter much to me. Because I would love to order from either of the two companies, no matter what. Even if I only had to order from one or the other, I wouldn't really care. Good question, Prime Cubing, by the way. As you can see, I'm almost done with the cutout now. I've done everything but just this last little section right here. What are your thoughts on the Rubik's sponsoring world-class cubers? It seems pretty cool. It seemed, on one of the Cubing at Home live streams, Rubik's was actually talking about how they're trying to take new steps or trying to make better cubes, more adapt to Speedcubers. I think it's cool that they're being sponsored by Rubik's. I don't know too much about it, but it seems pretty cool to me. Imagine being sponsored by Mefforts. Have you seen the Speedcubers documentary trailer yet? Yes, I actually have. I just watched it before I started trying to stream and all that. It looks really cool. I'm really happy that there will be a documentary on Netflix for Speedcubing. That's really awesome. Yeah. So, if you actually look, I have a document for all my updates for my next episode of updates. One of them is the Netflix show. So yeah. And I got a Pyramix PB just for those of you who are watching the stream. You get a special a sneak peek at my next updates episode. Also the game Pyramix. So yeah. I do know about the Netflix show. So now I'm done with the cutout for now. I am going to do a couple of retouches. So, as you can tell, everything that I want selected is selected. So if you go up here where my mouse is right now and click Layer, New, Layer via Copy, New, okay, then it will make a layer with just your cutout. So that's pretty cool. So now what you want to do is go here where my mouse is right now and click Effects. And then I have it on strokes already just because, whatever you do, it just already has it like that next time you open it. Hello, the guy. Which Pyramix do you think is going to be better, GAN or Bell V2? Probably the Bell V2 because X-Man's already made a Pyramix before, and it seems like whenever GAN makes a puzzle for a cube they've never made before, that it's not always, better than other ones. Even with their 2x2, people didn't really like it as much as others. And now they've made a 2x2 people like, but not their first one. Or a better example will be their 4x4, the 460. There's only one person I've really heard that says that they like it more than the other 4x4s, but now they like the MGC 4x4 more, so probably the Bell version 2. Yeah, except for the Megaminx, I agree with that. The Megaminx was great. It is my backup main now, but when it was my main, it was really good. It actually got me to practice Megaminx even more. So here's the outline. So you go to effects, and as you can tell, I've checked stroke, and then basically right here, if you look at the size, basically you adjust that. You don't want it to be like that or anything, but you don't want it to be like this, like really small either, like that. So I'm just going to make it probably 9 or 10, something like that. I think 10, okay, I think 9 works. Okay. And then you want the position to be outside. Now, what is my Megaminx main? The Yoo-Hoo version 2 is my main for Megaminx. So, obviously, there's a problem right now, if you noticed. And the problem is that there are just these random dots right here, just showing up. Like, this looks bad. Like, if that were to be the thumbnail, that would look really bad. No one, it looks bad. Like, whenever the outline's bumpy, that's a problem. So what you want to do to fix that, and then I'm going to do retouching after that, is you see right here, you select the eraser tool where my mouse is right now, and you go up to the little dot that's showing up and just left click like that. And then you basically just erase that, because it's like, the reason why this happens is because sometimes you will accidentally forget to deselect it, like a little tiny area. And so when you do the outline, it outlines everything selected. So that's why we'll do that. So basically you just go up right here at the edge and just basically just left click with the eraser tool. And it gets rid of them. It's a really simple trick I wish I knew before I started doing these kinds of thumbnails for YouTube. But I am glad I know it now. It just makes the outline look so much better. So there you go. I only have a few more. Right there. And this is actually a problem I see with quite a few thumbnails, is like when people don't, or it seems they don't really, after they do the outline, they don't really touch it up or do touch up or fix it like that. And it can cause it to look bad. Okay, I think that's all. Now, this outline still isn't done for this reason right here. As you can see, there's still, like, basically this part right here, you don't want that part kept. So what you do is you basically take the eraser and just basically just erase those parts. Just really close to the edge. And since the outline is like, I think, since the outline is as thick as it is, it basically, if you were to erase a little bit too much, people won't be able to see it because it's covering the part right here. So if you erase too much, like that, you can clearly see the shirt right there, and that would look bad. So you just do it a little bit. It's basically just like, it's refining, basically. How do you get creative with your thumbnails? Just whatever I think would work for that thumbnail. If I think that a certain frame of the video is good, like basically all my update thumbnails right now, it's just a frame out of the video, I make that my thumbnail. But if it's maybe a relay or any other kind of video, sometimes I use a frame in the video, and sometimes I take a picture that's not in the video. I take my own picture and then make that the thumbnail and do all this stuff. Like I think one of my last challenges episodes, I think it was episode 38. Yeah, it was episode 38. Basically for that one, I just had an idea in my head before I even made the video of what I wanted it to be. And so that's basically how I do all the thumbnails. I just think of what I want it to look like. If I hired you to make my thumbnails, how much would you charge? I don't know. I don't think I really charge anything, because I don't even think I'd be allowed to do that. if I were to be honest. I don't think my parents would allow me to do that. So probably nothing. And if I did have the choice, I probably still wouldn't charge you, because I don't want to charge my own subscribers for that. I don't think I would want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. What thumbnail are you making this for? Like what video? This right here, the stream. Because I always get questions on how I make the thumbnails, because, a lot of people, don't have Photoshop. So I thought I would do a stream where I would show how I made a thumbnail and answer questions too, because, I think it would be helpful just for people to see how it's done. And if this stream isn't really helpful enough, because I'm not really teaching you everything, then you can always look up tutorials on YouTube. I have used those to learn a few things when I have needed help or wanted to know something else for Photoshop. There are definitely a lot of cool things or helpful things that you can know for Photoshop that you don't know of when you first start. So I think it would be helpful to just teach all of those right now, just so you know them, even if you're not necessarily good at them yet. Any other questions? Oh, hi, Cubefinity. I finally got the stream working, and as far as I know, the audio isn't echoing anymore. So any other questions? Right now, I'm just refining the outline, just making it look smoother. Wait, I watched your sub 2-minute Megaminx video, Cubefinity. Okay. Yeah, it's not echoing. Yeah, I finally fixed it. I just looked up a video on how to fix it. Oh wait, that's a good question. Will you ever make a setup tour? I actually have been thinking about that, and no one really knows this because I never said anything. I actually tried making a thumbnail tour before, months ago, and basically it didn't turn out very well, and the video's quality was bad. But in general, I didn't really like it when I tried making it, so I did something else. So maybe I might do a setup tour, but there's not really much to show that I haven't shown already. Everything you see in my videos is my setup. Like in the background right here, that's it. There's really nothing special. If you when I have the white background, I literally have a light box that I got for Christmas, I think last Christmas or before Christmas last year. So there's not really much to show. And then in the other room where I film, like when I do the Cubing at Home videos, basically everything you see in those videos is what's there. Like there's, other than the GoPro, of course. Any other questions? They all have been really interesting. Are you doing this on a laptop or PC? A laptop. Yeah, I don't own a PC, actually. I've never actually done a video on my PC before. What's the next video about? The next video I'm going to be making, I gotta remember, I forgot what it was actually. I think it's a relay video, I'm not sure. I forgot. I always go in order from challenges and then relay. And the last video I uploaded from either of those two kinds is a challenges, and the next one will be a relay. Okay, so will be challenges. I think oh, I remember now. Next video is 13 by 13 patterns. So yeah, I finally will be uploading another patterns video. So I'm going to do like all sorts of patterns, like checkerboard, obviously, cube and a cube, super flip. Super flip looks really good on the 13 by 13 actually. I have done it before. How do you get the overhead view with your GoPro? The light box I has like a little circle at the top of it, and so I put my GoPro there, or not my GoPro, my iPad, when I do unboxings, and that's how I get the overhead view, basically. The original light box I used before I got one last year, the one before that, I actually had to cut out like a tiny hole in the top of it so I could get that view. But yeah, that's basically how I do it. Gotta go. Be right back. Okay. Bye, Prime Cubing. See you later. Yeah, you had really good questions. So, if someone asked you what type of cubing channel you have, what would you say? I don't know, because I'm not like JR Cuber where I only do unboxings. I try to do a lot of different types of videos. I don't know necessarily what kind of cubing channel I have. But that's a difficult question to answer. Alright, welcome back, Prime Cubing. So back to the other question. I really don't know what I would say if someone said what type of cubing channel. All I know is it's just a cubing channel, at least. That's really all I would say. Because I do try to do a lot of different kinds of videos, but not too many different kinds. That was one of my problems as a beginner, or when I started YouTube, is I had too many different types of videos. How many cubes do you have in total? 211 right now. If you go to my most recent cube collection video, I always have a pinned comment saying how many cubes I have. Just in case you ever wonder. I don't update it when I get a new cube. It's only the next cube collection video when I update how many cubes I have in that comment. Just to show you the difference between the last one and this one, just so you know how many more I got over the half year. Will you think of streaming on Twitch? Also, same to you, Cubing Tube. I don't want to stream on Twitch for right now because I don't know how to use it, and it's just basically I want to do all my cubing stuff on here, like on YouTube, and streaming isn't really something I do very often. This is basically my first stream ever, my first attempted stream in months. So for right now, no, but I will think about it because a lot of people are saying that Twitch is better to stream on than YouTube. So maybe. Any other questions? Alright, bye, Cubefinity. So any other questions? Stream is really fun right now. I might actually stream more. It's definitely not going to become like a normal thing I do on my channel all the time, but I will consider it, considering that, since the stream has been working, it has been really fun. I actually really enjoy this right now. What is your 3x3 PB single? I don't remember, so I'm gonna go check. And this is for everyone who wonders, just so you know. If you go to my About page, it does have all my PBs. So, 8.493. That's my 3x3 PB. Yeah, I don't remember them, so I just have them on my about page for anyone who wonders, just in case you want to know. What is your favorite, or who is your favorite YouTuber? JR Cuber, to be completely honest. He's always been my favorite. I actually, before I even had a YouTube account and I could subscribe to people, I always watched his videos. I think I started watching YouTube 2015 to 2016. That's when I got the app. So yeah, definitely JR Cuber. I've always enjoyed his videos. And Red KB too. I do like his channel too. He just doesn't upload very much. I don't know how long it's been since he uploaded. It's been a pretty long time. Oh, your PBs are on your about page? That's cool. Yeah, it is helpful to have your PBs on your about page. Though maybe I feel like maybe I should announce it in my videos or something like that. Just so I don't keep... Because I obviously can't expect people to know that already. And when I look at people's channels, I never look at their about page, so... Just for any of you watching that, just so you know, if you do want to check. Any other questions right now? I'm almost done refining. I have this little bit left right here. I'm actually really close to being done with the whole outline. Any other questions? And that is it. The outline is finally done. Oh, almost done. Okay, now it's done. And that's how I do the outline. I don't know if prime cubing, if you're asking me or someone else, but you're saying tips on growing a Cuban channel. I don't know. I don't know if I have any tips, because the only thing I know kind of works, which I don't really like too much, is self-promoting. I don't do it a lot. I remember when I was close to 100 subscribers, I did do it. But that's really, if you really want it to grow, that's kind of what you have to do. You should stream relays once in a while. Stream relays? Maybe. I do like making those just videos because I can speed them up. But I do think doing that stuff live would be pretty cool also. If you weren't a Cuber, would you have a YouTube channel? And what would it be about? Yes, I would. I haven't announced this yet, but I have a second channel already that I make videos on. Just for those of you watching, since not many people are even really going to know this, I have a second channel. I'll go to it right now. It's basically literally just my name with the last name abbreviated, since I can't say what my last name is. It's this channel right here. This is my second channel, so this would be what my channel is if I didn't do cubing videos. As you can see, I do very random videos on it. I don't upload very consistently or often. Like the first video was just a soccer video. And then I think I actually showed my last name in this video, but whatever. And then the next one is a CinemaSins parody on the video Why We Cube that Chris Olsen made, which I really enjoyed that video. And then the next one was just another soccer video, and then I made a video about the tricky triangle, like a puzzle you can see at Cracker Barrel. Basically my videos aren't specific to anything. I just think of an idea of something I want to make a video on that wouldn't go on my cubing channel, and I make a video whenever I can. It's hard to upload consistently on this channel because I'm already uploading on this channel right here, the cubing channel. So I don't want to let that get in the way of my cubing videos, because I find my cubing videos more important. But I do upload on the second channel whenever I have the time. And because I do upload on this channel, quite often, like on the days where I take breaks would be the only days where I'd make videos on the other channel. So I don't want to do that, because I basically am just, it wouldn't really be good for me if I kept just uploading every single day. That would be too much. But I do have a second channel. If you actually look at the banner art, it's literally just my channel art on this cubing channel, and the background is just blurred and it's darker. Thank you, Gua Squad and Cubing Tube. And if I go back, oh wait, sorry. All right, thank you. It's really cool. The reason why I haven't said anything about it yet is because I didn't want to, because I think the excitement of growing a channel from nothing and not having someone promote it it's more exciting than, like, I feel like it would, I don't know, I wouldn't really want to promote it on this channel. I feel like that would be really easy to do. But I am showing you now just because there aren't many viewers watching it. Just because. What does the RP part at the end of your name? Oh, what is the RP part at the end of your name? The TDRP. So T is, as you know, first name Tyler. D I can't say. And then RP would be red and purple, because those are my two favorite colors. And that's why the T and D in my logo are red and purple. I think I have a cube with my logo on it just to show you. If you look, as you can tell, it's red and purple. And that's just because it's my favorite colors. I've liked those two colors since, like, I think 3rd grade. I've always liked red. And then I think in 3rd grade, I started liking the color purple also. And it was my favorite color for a little bit. Now I like red more, but now I like both of them. So, any other questions? Thank you, Cubing Tube, by the way. I'm just gonna go ahead and do more with the thumbnail. So, next step is basically fixing the colors, if that makes sense, or retouching, like, the whole thing. So what I'm gonna do is, well, first I'm gonna change the background. Or what I forgot to do is, see how the background's at an angle. So what I'm gonna do is, if you click one layer and then hit Control and then click the other layer. Now they're both selected. And now where my mouse is, if you left click, it links them. So whatever you do affects both instead of just one. So now I can do this. I can rotate it so it's straighter, and then increase the size so so you can't see so the parts right there aren't transparent. Yeah, it did say my last name. I actually realized that. It's fine though, because I don't think many people are going to say it. I don't think it really matters. It's just not something I'm really supposed to go around saying all the time. Okay, so now both layers are good. I think it could go over to the left a little bit more. I can just adjust it a little bit. Okay, that's good. Now I will unlink the layers. And then go to the background. What did you use to make your logos? That's actually a funny question. So, this logo right here, this one, my TDRP cubing logo, I actually made on Microsoft Paint, which is funny because it's really difficult to use and I don't use it anymore. But yeah, I used to use Paint to make my channel banner. And, thank goodness I don't do that anymore. And I also used it to make my logo. And the thing is, it actually, it actually works and looks the way I want it to. So even though it's made with Paint, I'm not going to redo it because it looks the way I want it to look. And I actually, what I did after I made it, like a while after I made it, was I went to Photoshop, and it looked kind of blurry, so I just literally went over with like solid colors and just made it look higher quality. And then for this logo, I made it on Photoshop for my Tyler D logo. So yeah, that's what I use to make my logos. If I were to make this a new logo now, I would use Photoshop without a doubt. It's a lot easier than Paint. So yeah. So now I'm going to keep going with the thumbnail and continue. So what you do now is, see, I'm going to rename these layers just so you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't normally rename layers because I can tell what they are, but so basically, if you click rename, I'm going to name one of them background, and then name one of them cutout. So now if you see the background layer here, what you do, or what I do, is I blur it, because I want people to be focused on what the cutout is. That's what I want to be the focus of the picture. So you go to the background, you hit filter right here, blur, Gaussian blur. I always use Gaussian blur. You can, sometimes it blurs it a little bit too much, so I'll make it a little bit less. I think that looks fine. Now I'm going to fix it a little bit. I'll just make the picture a little bit bigger. Oh, that's good. So how did you make your intro? I know you used Inline Video Leap, but I don't get how you made the squares around the letters move separately. That's hard to explain because I used to have the video or the thing in Video Leap, like with all the stuff I did to make it, but I had to delete Video Leap at one point to save space to save some videos for one of my videos before I just started doing videos where I didn't have enough space on my iPad for on my phone. So I don't have the editing part anymore, but I can explain how I did the squares. So basically, go to my documents, I think logo. There it is. This is basically what I used. Basically, I did cutouts with an app called PhotoFox. It's not as good as Photoshop, but it's for a mobile device. I can't. So I use it just to do cutouts for the videos whenever I need them, just like simple cutouts. So basically, I did a cutout of just the outline of basically, if you don't notice, since 5x5 is my favorite event, this thing outlining the logo is a 5x5. So I did the outline, like the black parts, and then I did a cutout of the yellow squares, and then a cutout of the green squares. And then I did a cutout of the T and the D. So when I did the animation, I just used all those cutouts. And I used a couple tricks that I know to, basically, they're used to work around the fact that you have to pay for some of the features. Like if you want to add more than 2 things to a video, you have to pay. So basically I ended up just using tricks. I don't know exactly how to explain them, but I did 1, 2, 3, 4, I did 5 cutouts. And then of course I had a cutout of just the logo. And that's how I did the animation for my intro, the current one. Any other questions? Right now, I'm just going to continue unless I get any more questions. So now I'm going to make the backgrounds black and white. Now, there is a filter for this, but I always do this in case I don't want it to be completely black and white. Sometimes I don't like it when it's black and white at all. I don't really like that. So I'm just going to make it 0. If you look right here at the saturation, that's what I'm adjusting. Maybe if I want to make it colorful, I increased the saturation a little bit. That's a little bit too much. It does look better when it's colorful than when it's completely desaturated. 15 seems to work. And so that's good. I might want to make it brighter, so I'll do adjust lighting. How long do you think it will take you to get to 1,000 subs? A very long time, in my opinion. I do know that once you get past certain milestones, your subscriber rate does increase, but it's still going to take a long time, in my opinion. I don't think I'll get to 1,000 subs anytime soon. It took me basically almost 2 years to get to 200, which is fine. I don't really think too much about how many subscribers I have. I think having 1,000 would be great. I would be able to monetize my channel once I have 1,000 subscribers and I think 4,000 watch hours, but for now I think it's going to take a while to get there. So now I'm going to increase the brightness of the background and then the contrast. I think that looks good. The background looks fine now. So now what I'm going to do is basically just adjust the colors of the cutout. If you have any more questions, feel free, by the way. So now what I'm going to do is click up here where it says Enhance. And as you can see, there are a lot of auto things. There's Auto Smart Fix, Auto Smart Tone, Auto Levels. I never use Auto Smart Tone. Auto Contrast, Auto Haze Removal, Auto Color Correction, Auto Shake Reduction, Auto Sharpen, Auto Red Eye Fix. Basically, these ones right here, from Smart Fix to Color Correction, except for Smart Tone, I use all the time. So what I do is I go through all of them, and if I think it makes it look better, I keep it. In this case, I think it looks worse, so I'm not going to use that. So now, what I'm going to do is Auto Levels. Sometimes it doesn't really change it that much. No. I use Be Funky to make my thumbnails, or to make thumbnails. I don't know what that is. I'll look it up. I haven't heard of that before. Okay. Alright. That's pretty cool. Is it cheaper than Photoshop? Because if it is, then that works. If it works for you, that's fine. I've never heard of that before. Dude, why does this stream have so many dislikes? I didn't know it had dislikes because I haven't refreshed it. I don't know. I don't know why it has 3 dislikes. I don't normally get that many. Oh, it is free? That's cool. I have no idea why it has so many dislikes. I mean, if you dislike it, 3, yeah. If you dislike it, that's fine. If you genuinely don't like the video, I dislike videos that I don't like, too. I mean, but I don't dislike that many videos. I don't know why it has that many. It might be because stream had some problems, or it could just be my friends. To be honest, my friends always troll me and dislike videos and stuff like that. Probably them. I mean, it is strange. I don't normally get that many. Normally I get 0 or I get 1. But it's fine. So now, did you do what SpeedCube Review did by connecting his stack mat to the laptop and display yet? No, actually. I have the display done. I haven't connected it to my computer because, wrong thing, because I can't yet. But the Cubicle added something right here. It says data connector for stack mat. I am going to order that and see if it works. So once I get that, I'll use it. Maybe not my videos, but just for practice. Because I do like the idea of having it on your computer instead. So I've done auto smart fix and auto levels. Neither of them look very good to me. So now I'm going to do auto contrast. That looks pretty good. Did you tell your friends that you have a channel right away? No, because I started, I think, it was May 30th, 2018. That was the first video. And so it was summer during then. And I don't really have any of my friends' phone numbers. I have a couple. So I couldn't tell them. And then even when I got to school, I didn't. I told one of my friends because he also does YouTube. Or he did at the time. He still does. But not the same kinds of videos. And so he was the only person that knew. And then when I got to school, I didn't say it for a little bit. I basically just talked to the only friend I knew who had a channel. And then I basically told one of his friends, and I asked him basically not to say to anyone else because I didn't really want a lot of people knowing. And he basically told everyone else, and so that's how they figured out about it. Not because I told them, because someone else did. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Do you have a microphone port on your laptop? I think I think I do. The only microphone I have is my earbuds. They seem to work pretty well. Although what happens is sometimes I'll increase the audio in editing software and it will sound fine, and then when I upload it to YouTube it messes up the audio. That's why in some of my recent videos, or the videos when I started using the earbuds as a microphone, the audio can sound bad at certain points, but I figured out how to fix it so it doesn't do that anymore. Because I'd always increase the bass of my voice, and so it would mess it up, and now I don't do that. Any other questions? Well, okay, that's cool. Now it doesn't have any dislikes, 9 likes. Thank you, everybody. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. If you don't, then you have to get a USB connector to connect to the stack mat. Okay. I'm just gonna order that thing from the cubicle when I have enough money to make I think it's like a $36 order with all the stuff combined. And then when I order that, then I'll have one. So, thank you. Now what I'm going to do, since only auto contrast work, is now I'm going to just manually adjust everything instead of using the automatic stuff. So now I'm going to manually adjust the brightness. That's a little bit too much. 15 should work, okay. Now if you go here, 15, that looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. I think 17 would be fine. So now, before, after, it looks fine. Actually, it should be a little bit less. Maybe 14. 14 looks good. Okay. 14 it is. Now, what I'm going to do is increase the saturation. Also, if you're going to connect the display at the same time, you will need a splitter. I actually looked it up, and so, yeah, that is true. I actually did try doing that, but we got the wrong one. So now I'm just going to get the thing from the cubicle, just so it will work when I have enough money. Now I'm going to increase the saturation. So you do adjust color, and go here, hue saturation. I'm assuming you took this pic today, correct? Yes, I did. I took it this morning. As you can tell, I'm wearing the same shirt. I took it right before I started trying to stream, not before this stream, right before this stream, because it wasn't working before. But yes, I did take it today. Around 10:30 when I was originally going to start. So now if I increase the saturation, let's see, I don't want to increase it too much. That looks fine. A little bit too orange right here. And so, here's something, what do you use to make thumbnails? Welcome Sonic Cubing. I use, what I'm using right now actually, Photoshop Elements. I do have the full version, by the way, right here in the taskbar, but I use Elements because cutouts are easier on it, and I can do every other thing I want to do in regular Photoshop on this one, so I just use elements. Thank you for asking. So now, here's a cool trick you can do. So if I increase the saturation too much, basically I want the shirt, like where the red is, I want that to be saturated, but I don't want my face to be too saturated because it will look orange or too orange. So as you can tell, if I do that, the face, it looks really bad. So I'm going to do, so I'm just going to do it until I think it's saturated enough for the shirt. I think that's good. And then what you do is you click, so basically see where my mouse is, you click there, and then hue saturation, and then you adjust it, and then you hit Control I, like that. And then you take, you use this tool where my mouse is right now, called the brush tool. And as you can see over here where my mouse is right now, there's white and then there's black. White means you're adding it, and if you hit X, it changes it to black, and black means you're taking it away. So I'm going to use white over here where the logo is, and I'm just going to paint over this logo so it looks more saturated. And so that way, I don't make the face look too saturated. It doesn't look orange or anything like that. I think that should be fine, just about. If you guys have any other questions, feel free. So now, if I turn off the layer, you can see it doesn't do too much. It doesn't make it look that much more saturated, but it does look more saturated, and that's exactly what I wanted. So, there you go. And now what I do is I right-click over here, and then click Merge Down, and so now it's all one layer, because I have no other adjustments to make with that one. Now, so here's, if what you do is, if the face does look too orange, so I'm just going to go ahead and add a hue saturation layer right here. Just, I'm going to delete it later, but just as an example. What you do if it looks like that and it looks really bad, that's an extreme example, but that's basically the premise is that it looks too orange. You click here, solid color, and then you choose like a shade of blue, and then hit Control I. What you do is you take the brush tool, like I said, have white, and you just like paint over. I'm going to change the opacity to be lower so it's easier to see it. You basically paint over face. Like everything that's too orange. I'm not going to keep these two layers because the face doesn't look too orange in this example. You just paint over here. And I'm doing it pretty quickly just because I don't really need to do it, so I'm not being too detailed, but this is basically what you do, but you obviously need to take, you're going to need to take more time, so it doesn't look horrible. As you can see, I'm painting over everything that looks too orange, and then what happens is, if I now decrease the opacity of this layer, it still looks pretty bad. 10, you just keep doing it until it looks okay. I am going to change the opacity of the orange one because it's not normally going to be that orange. It's going to be about this. So you go here, and you change the opacity until it looks good. So see without it, and then before. Okay, so before and then after. And of course, it shouldn't look like that. It should look a little bit better. That was just the example I showed. Now I'm going to delete those layers because I don't need them. The picture didn't look too orange, so that's fine. Okay, so now the next step is going to be adding a shadow or a glow to the cutout. Any other questions, by the way? You guys have been asking really good questions. So right now, while I'm not getting any questions, I'm just going to go ahead and continue. What you do is you click over here where my mouse is. Actually, you can't see my mouse because my screen is in the way, so I'm going to move it. I think I actually clicked it before and you couldn't see it. So see where my mouse is right now. You click Effects, and then now I'm going to move it again. Just to let you guys know where the Effects button is, because since you couldn't see it before, that's where it is. And then you go over here, where my mouse is right now, left click, and then as you can see there are options. There's stroke, which I already have selected, B-level, glow, and drop shadow. I never use B-level. This is basically what it does. I've never had a need to use that, so I don't. Then you go here to glow. I'm going to just try it. And then select outer. If you select inner, this is basically what it's going to look like. Most likely you won't want that. So now what you do select is outer. And then what I do is I always increase the opacity to 100. And I increase the size to whatever looks best. So I think 44 is normally the size I have the glow at. So now you choose the color. Let's say it's red. With the background's red, so red doesn't look very good right now. Or red's not the best option. Blue. Blue is good. I'll use blue. And then, in order to make the glow more apparent, so it's easier to see, you select right here where my mouse is, drop shadow. Then you increase the opacity. What I do is I make the distance 0. This is basically what it would look like if the distance wasn't 0. Did you have to download OBS to your laptop, or are you streaming on their website? If they have one. No, I had to download it this morning, actually. So basically, that's why I didn't really know what I was doing very much, because I literally just learned how to use it. So anyways, what you do is make the size how you want it to be. So this is before the drop shadow. This is afterwards. As you can tell, it makes the glow more apparent. And so now you click OK. So that's fine. Now, what I want to do is add text. So I'm actually going to ask you guys for this one, since it's a thumbnail purely for the stream and not for any specific video. What do you want the text to say? What do you want the title or the text in this thumbnail to be? Any thoughts? No one's really suggested anything yet. Oh, unboxing from the cubicle? Okay, that's a good idea. Okay. The stream's a little bit laggy, and so that's why Sonic Cubing, when you commented, that's why I said that no one's commenting anything, by the way. Okay, so unboxing from the cubicle. Okay. So what I'm going to do, instead of just typing the cubicle, I'm going to use their logo, which I think I have already. I think I already have a picture of their logo. Oh, I asked CubingTube. I asked if what people wanted the title or the words in this thumbnail to be, and Sonic Cubing said unboxing from the cubicle. So right now, that's what I'm gonna make it. So as you can see, I have this cubicle logo right here. So now I'm gonna go to Photoshop and open the cubicle logo. Also, another step I forgot was the DPI. So what you do to get there is you hit Control-Alt-I. And then, as you can see where my mouse is, it says resolution. And so what I normally do is I make the resolution as high as it can be, but normally you just make it 300. I'm just going to make it this, I'm just going to make it 999 because it works for me. Now I'm going to click open and then go to my quick access and open the cubicle logo. As you can tell, it's not a PNG, so I will have to do a cutout, but that's okay. And so now you change the DPI of this one so it can match the DPI of the other picture. So now I'm going to, what you do is you left click it and basically drag your mouse up here, go to this one, and then do that. And so now the cubicle logo's here. What I'm going to do now is, basically, if you can see where my mouse is, there's like an eye right there. You left click it and it turns off the layer. Left click it again, it turns it on. So I'm going to turn it off for now just to make it easier to see the cubicle logo. And I'm just going to do a cutout. Now, instead of doing a detailed cutout like I did for this other one, I'm going to use quick selection, because basically I only need to remove white. And so it should be easy for Photoshop to tell what I'm removing or trying to remove. And just like that, it's literally selected everything that I need. And so now I'm going to do what you can also do, since I don't need the background layer for this one, I just do Control-Shift-I and then press delete, and then Control-D, which deselects it. Now I have the cutout. I'm going to turn this other layer back on and put the logo behind this layer, since I have a cutout. And there's some little parts right here that weren't necessarily good, but I have already shown how to basically do a detailed cutout, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. What you can also do is, if it's like that, you can select it, select the whole thing. I'm going to turn this layer off so it's easier to see, and then you do select, modify, contract. I'm going to contract it by 2 pixels, and then do Control-Shift-I, and then press delete, and then Control-D. Actually, I don't think that... Oh, I didn't select everything. Okay, I forgot to select everything. Now, Control-Shift-I, and then select, modify, contract, 2 pixels, and then... Or actually, sorry. You contract it before you do the inverse. I messed up. Okay, contract, 2 pixels, then Control-Alt-I, then delete. And so now, all those little bits that were selected that shouldn't have been aren't selected anymore. Still doesn't look the best, but it looks good enough for this example. So now, I'm going to make the image a little bit smaller. I don't know exactly how big I need it to be. As you can see over here where my mouse is right now, I have constrained proportions on, which means if you do this, the proportions will always stay the same over here. Of course, if you do something like this, it's not going to keep the proportions anymore. And if you don't want it to look like that, you just hit this red strikeout image over here, and you can do it again if you need to. Now, I'm going to add some text, and it's going to just say unboxing, because whenever I do an unboxing, I always just have the words unboxing, or just the word unboxing. So, it's going to have the cubicle logo, as that Sonic Cubing suggested, but it's the only words I'm going to type aren't the word. The only word I'm going to type is unboxing. So I typed it, and I actually really like this font for unboxing videos, by the way. So what you want to do is, at least what I do, is I always change the font for each thumbnail so they don't all look exactly the same. That's why a lot of my thumbnails look completely different. So now, what I'm going to do is change the font, since I don't really like that one. Or I like it, but I want it to be a little bit different. So now, I'm going to make the font... I'll show you guys my favorite font, which is Lemon Milk. Right here. I always use it for updates episodes. And if you want to download fonts or want to get custom ones, just for those of you who don't know, you go to this website right here called thefont.com, and they have a lot of fonts. Now, I wouldn't use any of these, but they have a lot of good options. So I do suggest it. And I always look over, I go over here where my mouse is right now. I always do cartoon and comic, because those are always the boldest fonts. So basically, you want to have a bold font, because then it will stick out more. And then, because like if it's too thin, it just won't look as good. So now I'm going to resize the text, and in order to do that, as you can see, there are these points over here. Oh, Brody uses lemon milk? That's cool. That's awesome. It's a really good font. So as you can see, there are 6 squares over here, 3 on each side. You click one of them, and then that's how you adjust the size. Now I'm going to adjust it to be, I think that's good enough. And then I'm going to move the text. And what you can do is, if the text is a little bit too small, obviously it can't be any wider or else it would be out of frame. So what I do is I make it a little bit longer, like that. If you look at some of my thumbnails, it's not exact proportioned exactly, or they're not always the same width, or I always do this basically. So that looks good. So now I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to put the logo somewhere. So I'm going to leave this last step to you guys. Where do you want me to put the cubicle logo? Any suggestions? Because I have an idea of where I want to put it, but I think it would be cool if you guys could say it. Which tutorial did you use to learn how to solve a 3x3? I actually remember, I think I do. I remember who made the video. So it's how to solve the Rubik's Cube. And I'm trying to remember the person's channel name. I don't exactly remember his channel name, but once I find the video, I will know who did it. I think it's Techtopia or something like that. It would be really crazy if I'm actually right about this. Oh, there it is. I found it. I can't believe I actually remembered that. Right here. This is the video, other than this ad. This is the video I used to learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube. When was this posted? Okay, 2010. I didn't learn 2010. I learned 2015. Yeah, or 2014 or 2015. I think early 2015. This is the video that I watched to learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube. This was beginner's method. And yeah, so I'm actually surprised I was able to remember that. That's really cool. Alright, so any suggestions for where I should put the cubicle logo? Like in this thumbnail? Like where do you guys want me to put it? Like on the left side, the right side? Where? If you don't have any suggestions, it's fine. I'm just going to go ahead for now, unless someone says otherwise. I'm just going to put it on the left side right here. And I'm just going to have it like right there or something. I think that's good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some effects to the logo. So I'm going to add a stroke outline. So, oh, you say right? Okay, I'll put on the right side then. Okay. Thank you, Cuban Tube. Actually, I don't think the outline looks very good. And sometimes I have to do this with my thumbnails. I try something, it just doesn't work, and I change it. This is what sometimes makes it take a very long time to make a thumbnail. But sometimes it's better to just do what works instead of what you would want to work, in my opinion. And then a drop shadow. Maybe I should not have the glow. Yeah, I like it better without the glow, actually. I think it looks better with just the shadow. I'm gonna have it 44. That looks good. Alright, that actually works. Thank you, Cuban Tube. Now I'm gonna put it on the right side, which actually, that works pretty well. That way part of the C for the cubicle logo isn't covered. That way, since you want that part to be visible. So a good suggestion. Now, what I'm going to do is add effects to the text. And this is the very last process in making a thumbnail that I use. So I click Effects, add an outline, and then adjust sizing and everything like that. So now that's a little bit too thick. 7, 5. 5 works. I don't know about 6. I like 5 better. Then what I do is I add a glow sometimes. If it looks bad, sometimes I don't use it. It's a little bit too much. I don't really like the glow, to be honest. And since the cubicle logo has just a shadow, I might just do that with the text also. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now, I'm going to decrease the size of the text a little bit, just because part of it's out of frame since I added the outline stuff. Now, what I'm going to do is change the color of the text. If I need to, of course. Sometimes white looks better, sometimes it doesn't. Since I have blue as the glow, I'm going to make the text a color that would look good with blue. So maybe yellow. I don't really like it in this case. I'm going to change it maybe light blue. No, actually, that's another thing I think you guys can help me with. What color do you want the text to be, other than white? Or black, because black would be hard to see. Oh, I'll see you later, Cuban Tube. I think light blue actually looks pretty good, so I'm just going to do that for now unless someone suggests something else. So now it's going to be light blue. Try green. Yeah, green doesn't really work very much. I always try to make the colors of like the text and all that in my thumbnails a little bit different, so it's not like the same color every time. So now, on to the final step of making a thumbnail is just saving it. That's it. Thumbnail's complete for now, unless someone wants me to change the color of the text. So I will save it as a document in case someone suggests me to change it, just so I have it. And then I will save it as a JPEG. And then I will just have it named the live stream thumbnail. Okay. And that's it. So this is the final thumbnail. So there you go. That's for those of you who have stuck around basically the whole time. That's how you do it. That's how I do it, at least. So yeah, that if you ever wonder how I make a thumbnail or need help, these are the basics. You can always go back to this live stream. I'm not going to delete it once it's over. I will keep it. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to end the stream really soon because I don't have much else to say. It seems like not many people are really watching anymore, which is okay because I'm basically done. There's not really much else to watch. I enjoyed the stream very much. I am very thankful for you guys, and I really, your questions were really good, so thank you all for that. I'm glad I got to finally do this. Finally had a stream that worked and went well. I finally got to make a thumbnail and show people how I make it. I've always wanted to do that. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.